primary after general election carries on that we need to get young people involved. We need to care about public education.
The teens we talked to acknowledge the nearly impossible odds they face against better funded, better known candidates like Chris Kobach and the current governor, Jeff Collier. But they say this is only their first campaign of many.
We are here and we have our ideas, and we will be, in the next 20, 30 years, we are going to be the leaders of this country, and we're going to be the people that have to solve the problems that we're creating today.
These teenagers, 3 Republicans, a Democrat, an independent, and a libertarian, aren't getting any help from their national parties. The parties want to be focused on their primary candidates, but these teens are doing it on their own, raising the $2,000 they need or getting the 10,000 signatures they need to get on the ballot. Hallie, it's a full-time job, but the teens we spoke to are committed to being on that ballot.
Garrett Haake reporting for us. That is the next generation of political activists on both sides of the aisle. That does it for us this hour of MSNBC Live. I'm headed over to the White House. I will see you this afternoon, Stephanie Ruhle, and I will see you tonight on NBC Nightly News.
All right, Hallie, how about those teenagers taking action? Extraordinary. All right.
Agreed.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Stephanie Ruhle, my partner, Ali Velshi, off today. It is Monday, February 26th. Let's get started.
I don't think there's a man or woman in this county who could keep Broward County safer than I can. I'm proud to be the sheriff, and I plan to continue on being the sheriff.
Now, Sheriff Israel is under increasing pressure to resign. Nearly every Republican in the Florida House of Representatives has signed a letter to the governor calling for Sheriff Israel, an elected Democrat, to step down or be removed.
Are you really not taking any responsibility for the multiple red flags that were brought to the attention of the Broward Sheriff's Office about this shooter before the incident?
I could only take responsibility for what I knew about.
The Broward County Sheriff's Office is investigating why 3 of its deputies apparently remained outside the school.
I know a lot more than you all do now, so all I'm going to say is yes, I believe there needs to be a full investigation. I don't think some people were honest.
Governor Rick Scott has ordered an investigation into the law enforcement response to the deadly shooting.
I don't want to go back to school until our legislators, at least in Florida, passed one bill.
I'm so grateful to be here, and it wouldn't be possible without those officers and first responders and these amazing doctors, and especially all the love that everyone has sent.
Do you believe that arming teachers would make children safer?
To be honest, I don't know. I think that having a teacher who is armed, who cares deeply about her students or his students, and who is capable and qualified to bear arms is not a bad idea, but it's an idea that needs to be discussed.
President meets with state leaders. Those governors aren't seeing eye to eye on all of the president's proposals on gun violence. Even some Republican governors, like Florida's Rick Scott, do not agree with the president's proposal to arm some properly trained teachers.
How can we expect our teachers to step in and take action if trained security guards that are part of the sheriff's department wouldn't take action?
Gun control advocates put the power of the pocketbook up against the NRA.
Brands like United Airlines, Best Western, MetLife, and several others are all doing away with discounts and perks.
Probably all of us in some ways own gun stocks indirectly. Teachers of California, Florida, Kentucky, Texas, New York, they own gun stocks in their pension plans.
Well, there you have it. There's a lot going on right now in Florida. It has been 12 days. Feels like a lifetime since 17 students and adults were killed and 14 others injured in that mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. While there has been a lot of talk, here's the thing. There has been no real solid change to protect Americans from gun violence. Right now, President Trump is meeting with a group of governors at the White House, where he says school safety is their top priority. We should be hearing from him at any minute. And more than 850 miles south, a rally is underway at the Florida State Capitol in Tallahassee, with supporters demanding action on gun law reform. In Parkland, teachers are now back at Stoneman Douglas today, preparing for their students' return to class, which will be on Wednesday. And please, take a look at this. They were welcomed by a colorful rainbow near the school early this morning. The school opened yesterday for the first time since the shooting, so students and teachers could collect their bags and ease their way back to campus. Counselors and support dogs were there for comfort. One freshman saying just seeing the building was scary. And as the community tries to heal, there are questions about whether police missed the chance to save lives. Governor Rick Scott is now ordering the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to investigate why 3 Broward County Sheriff's deputies apparently stayed outside the building while the shooting was unfolding. Joining me now is Catherine Posada, a 10th grade English teacher at Stoneman Douglas. Catherine, welcome. I am so sorry for what these 2 weeks have brought you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been tough.
I want to ask you, Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel, he's facing a lot of criticism over whether his officers responded appropriately. Last week, he said deputies will carry rifles on school grounds from this point forward, and some of them will in fact be AR-15s. You are going to be, there you are now, back on campus. Do you feel safe?
I do feel safe. I do feel that they are doing everything within their power to keep us safe. Both the administration of the school and the local law enforcement is really stepping up. I think that it'll be difficult for some of the students to see the guns, but I think that we all understand that, you know, these are the guns that are here to keep us safe. These are not a threat to us, so I do feel safe on campus.
You were at the orientation yesterday, and you said it was therapeutic. You're back there this morning for a breakfast. Walk us through what it's like, and what are students telling you?
It's overwhelming, first of all, to walk on campus and see. I mean, the first thing you see when you drive up to campus is a sort of a makeshift memorial with flowers and posters and all kinds of things, and that's amazing to see. And we've got all these banners that have been sent to us from all over the country in support of us and our students, so that's really nice. Seeing the students is both difficult, but it's also, it makes us all feel so much better. This is what we do. We care about our students, and to go there and be able to talk to them and hug them and cry with them, I think has been good for all of us. So it's been difficult to come back, but I think it's definitely helping all of us. It's sort of cathartic for everybody involved.
You just said local law enforcement is doing everything in their power, which raises the question, do they need more power, different power? The heads of over 150 New York City area schools wrote a letter yesterday that was printed in the New York Times saying, quote, "We implore you, Mr. President, and our national legislative leaders to do everything necessary to stem this tide of senseless gun violence. The United States of America can and must do better. Now is the time to take action. As educators, we believe in the United States Constitution. We also believe our country need not choose between the protection of responsible gun ownership and the prevention of gun violence, and that both can be achieved through thoughtful and forceful legislation." As I said, this was printed in the New York Times yesterday. I want to say there was 155 heads of schools. Now, over 230 have joined that, and the state of Florida has reached out. Do you agree in that there's a middle ground here, and this isn't a political issue, it's a safety issue?
I do agree with that. I think most of us support